1057.
Football. Ready, break.
Football in America is a special game. The men who play it make it so.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
This is the Gridiron Gumbo Show. High school, college, and pro football talk. Live from the studios of today's country 1057. The Gridiron Gumbo Show is being brought to you by Mid-South Forestry Equipment and Gina Choctaw Pines Casino. Now, let's talk football.
And a good evening and welcome to another episode of the Gridiron Gumbo Show here on today's Country 105.7, presented by Mid-South Forestry Equipment and Gina Choctaw Pines Casino. Sean Larken with you. Derrick Lee to my right. Over across the desk, Mike Holt. Mike Holt, fellas, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's another week. Look, I can't believe October is almost over. I feel like we just started October. I'm not in a good mood because my favorite teams are helping me be in a good mood, if that's obvious. But I am pretty pumped.
Well, not really.
Well, why not?
Because Bryce Young is missing next week.
Yeah, we'll get there. But, hey, another win for the Panthers. And
3 in a row.
They got a big one this week, which we'll get to in our NFL segment. But I was thinking about you this week when I started writing it down and saw that they're coming off a bye. The Bills have a little bit of rest. But, man, you want to talk about a measuring stick, see where you're at. Obviously doing it without Bryce Young. But, no, it's crazy because it's opening night of NBA tonight. 2 games on NBC. You know, me and Mike
back on NBC.
Yeah, John Tesh was on the Today Show this morning, and I can't tell you. I'm sure for his life, he's probably played the round ball rock song like every time somebody sees him. But
Why did you tell me you're going to get tired of that?
It was on the Today Show, and they came back from 3 commercials, and he played it. They had like an actual band there in the studio playing
That's cool.
it. That's the only song they played, though. They didn't play anything else.
Yeah.
So that'll probably get old for him. But, the NBA's back on NBC. Obviously, TNT Crew is now the Inside the NBA Crew's on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mike were talking about this before the show, and hearing the TNT music on ESPN is going to be weird because they were playing it last night.
Are they
going to
keep the same music?
They had it playing last night during the Monday
Okay.
night promo. They ran it, and they were talking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's TNT's music. I wonder how much they pay for that.
Yeah.
But that's for neither here nor there, but it is opening night for the NBA, which means sometime next week we may very well possibly have a sports equinox. And do y'all know what that means?
Well, no.
Multiple sports at one time?
Yeah.
Not just multiple. All the 4 major sports.
Oh.
The World Series starts next week. Well, this weekend, but we'll go into next week. The NFL will be on. Hockey will be on. And the NBA. So we might have a sports equinox sometime next week. I would assume it'll probably be like
have multiple TVs.
Probably so, yeah. Because, I mean, you already need multiple TVs now as it is if you want to watch college football on
Saturday. Or your
Saturday.
phone or your tablet.
Phone, computer, multiple TVs. But, so we are in the thick of the sports calendar year. I mean, October and March are my 2 favorite sports months. And my birthday's in May, and it's not even my favorite month. October's in there and March.
Yeah.
Just a lot going on, and there's always something on TV. But, again, this is our 8th episode, man. That's crazy. We've just finished up the week 7 in high school football. That is crazy. We have 3 games left.
Crazy.
And in the playoffs. Some teams are kind of trying to get in position to make a push, which, again, these next 3 weeks are going to tell us a lot. But we will recap Week 7 and then preview Week 8. We were at the DeRidder Leesville matchup this Friday, all of us. I think it went well. It was a lot of fun. First time we've done that in 4 years. And Leesville, for the 5th straight year, retains the Hooper Trophy as they win that one, which we'll get into. Some more Week 7 scores. Kinder stays undefeated. They're now 7-0. They put up 50 on Oakdale, 50-13. Vinton defeats Pickering 48-12. Those were both on Thursday night. Shockingly enough, Pickering's schedule, they're wrapped up for the home slate. Their last 3 games are on the road. So they will be packing the bus up and filling up the tank there for the last 3 weeks. Jennings beats South Bow 55-14. Mansfield defeats Rose Pine 45-14. East Bow over Bolton 60-6. Oberlin, Maryville, this might have been the game of the year, man. 51-49 Oberlin wins. It was homecoming night. Wow. There's been a lot going on with that program, not just for the numbers, but they had some things going on this past week. Well, good for them, though. There's been a lot going on, and man, that might have been the game of the year there. 51-48. It was homecoming. They get the win. And like we said, Leesville retains the Hooper Trophy, the 5th straight win in the series. Me and Derrick were there with Mr. Isles. And look, we'll go ahead and get into it. they, as far as both of those teams, they were both desperate. There was a lot on the line here. We talked about it, Leesville coming in. They pretty much have to win out. They're 1-5, and we looked at the schedule, and then the time is now. And it started Friday night. As for DeRidder, they want to host a playoff game. They've been going on the road the last few years. We talked about it, how you made the comment right before we went on for kickoff. It was like, man, it's a lot of fun. Easier going to home games 2 weeks in a row.
Nice to be able to sleep in your own bed.
Or get home at a decent time.
Exactly.
And that's what DeRidder's trying to do as they were in position. However, Leesville gets the win, and DeRidder slips out of that home spot for now. But again, I actually saw the video of Coach Causey post-game. He said, look, he kind of had probably said it before the game or all week, that we've got to go on a run, and it starts tonight. And he said that after the game, and he's like, we're not done. Let's go. Let's get the train on the tracks and roll. And they do pick up their second win. But DeRidder gets the ball first. They were looking to line up and go for it on 4th down and 3. They had a penalty, so they had to punt. Leesville with ease goes down, and this was not your typical, not typical, but your usual Leesville offensive script. They've been throwing it all over the place. Friday night, they did throw a touchdown pass, but it was more of a, it was a screen pass. It was more of a run after the catch type. Everything else was on the ground, and that, as we'll get into in the second half, man, DeRidder just had no answer. I even mentioned it on the broadcast. Leesville was the more physical team, and I thought DeRidder had to be more physical in this game. And for the first half, it was pretty even. Leesville went down on that opening drive. They had it, and they went 80 yards and scored. And it was just run. I don't even think they completed a pass. I think they attempted one. It was Trell Broom ran it in, and they got the extra point. So they took up basically half the quarter as well. DeRidder's going to get it back with the about under 6-minute mark. Well, DeRidder's second drive, they answered. Jaden Cooper with a nice run, kind of made it happen himself, as both of DeRidder's scores were like that. Jaden bounced off a bunch of linemen, spun out of the pile and got into the end zone. So, DeRidder responds, and then Leesville gets it back. After, the quarter ends, they're moving the football, and the most wild 4th and goal sequence I think we've ever seen. 3 or 4 chances at goal to go. The first one ended in just a sea of hands tip up into Mike Davis Jr.'s hands for a touchdown. However, there was a lot going on before the play. Trell was running around like Patrick Mahomes back there, and about probably every lineman got downfield. So that one got wiped off. Then they played it again. They backed up. So it ended up being a 4th and goal from the 16. And, I said it during the game. The play call was incredible. The execution was even better. They sent Davis across the formation on some motion. Well, that got everybody's eyes to the guy who's been torching everybody for touchdowns. Even the year prior, he had 3 against DeRidder. So, the focus was on him. Defensively, they were on the receivers. From me to my hand to you.
Basically, same with how
many times did they jump off sides on defense pre-snap?
Because how you said it was basing on anticipation.
Yeah, they were trying to. Yeah, instead of reacting, they were trying to anticipate, and it cost them a few times. But they had the eyes on Davis, and the motion took them that way, and they ran a screen out the back door, and Grant Braxton had 3 black jerseys and 1 white jersey, or 3 white jerseys in front of him blocking 1 blue jersey, and he got into the end zone. So on the 3rd, 4th and goal, Leesville takes the lead 14-7. DeRidder punts, but then they force a punt from Leesville, which, again, they tried to run that screen again, and it was just out of reach of Jacob Paheniger. He might have scored on that one, too. But then DeRidder gets it back. They go 76 yards from their own 24, and we said it, another individual effort by Javon Fairley is able to just kind of find the cutback lane, and he beats everybody to the corner. So they go into the half, and it's 14-14, and honestly, that's kind of where it ended for DeRidder. And that was unfortunate because we said it, the energy was there. After they went punt and then Leesville scored, you could kind of feel the air come out of the building, but then they immediately respond and score. And then it was kind of a back and forth there in the first half. Well, then out of the locker room, Leesville gets it. They go 67 yards, Grant Braxton touchdown run. That was the second of 3 that he had. He had 1 catching and 2 rushing. But after that, DeRidder's drives in the second half were punt, a turnover on downs, which was a fake punt that we can get into as well. Then they had another turnover on downs right after that. They missed a wide-open touchdown just by a little bit on an overthrow, and then an interception in the end zone. Those are DeRidder's offensive drives in the second half. And I don't know this for certain because I didn't go back and look all the way. I know for a fact they got one first down in the second half, but it was from a penalty. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they converted a first down on offense in the second half. I can't remember. I think they got a couple of 4th and 2s. So that was it. Other than like on a third down, I don't think they converted.
Not on third down, no.
Yeah, they got, because I got it in my notes here. They did get a 4th and 2, and then on the next 4th and 2, right there at the end of the third quarter, they turned it over on downs. But
yeah, because I asked you what was the percentage of conversions of third down.
And we've talked about it. Y'all have done more games than I have, but I was there for the first few weeks, and I can go back and watch. There's a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah.
And look, we saw Leesville just running up and down the field in the first half. About halfway through that first half, though, even on the 17 4th and goals that Leesville had, DeRidder played it pretty well and started to settle in. They got the ball back for you offensively and let you kind of get back into the game. However, going 3 and out, it's not a good recipe, because when a team is running the football on you, you want to talk about physically demanding.
It's the demanding game all over again.
It is just, it will take you out of a game, and defensively it'll wear you down. There's nothing more that offensive linemen like than run blocking. They'll just tell you, because they can impose their will. They just love pushing people around. And Leesville didn't have to throw the football as much as DeRidder probably game planned for press coverage on the outside. And like I said, other than the almost touchdown that Mike Davis had, he did drop one that he probably catches 99 times out of 100. They didn't really throw the football on him down the field, and that was the game plan. But credit Leesville for adjusting to said game plan and saying, you know what, we're just going to run the football. And that's pretty much what they did. Trail Broom ran for 3 of them. He threw one, and it was the screen pass, which was basically an extension of the run, because he threw it, the screen, and Grant Braxton did the rest. But after the first half, it was all Leesville, and it was kind of disappointing because we were up there talking about it, and you couldn't feel any energy. And one of the plays, and this was early in the game, it's at this point, with 7 minutes left in the third quarter, it's 26-14. That was after the Leesville touchdown to make it 26-14. The turnover on downs on 4th and 8, you could kind of feel it. You could see it coming on the fake punt, and it just wasn't going to work. You would almost rather just send your offense back out there if you're going to go on 4th and 8, because when you get in the punt, well, you're backing your punter up 5 or 6 more yards. Plus, that's
4th and 16 at that point.
And
that's a lot of ground to cover.
We're not even talking about the fact that Connor's been banged up all year.
Yeah,
so
that's that part too.
He hasn't even been a factor because of the ankle, and then you're putting him in that situation. So look, I'm not just that's not the play that lost in the game, but that was one where that kind of was like, okay, if they don't get this, Leesville's going to put this game away, and they pretty much did after that. Like we said, Trail Broom, 3 touchdowns rushing, did throw a passing touchdown. Grant Braxton, 3 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 2 rushing. Jaden Cooper and Javon Fairley, a touchdown apiece. But it was really just a tale of 2 halves. Like, we went into the locker room in the first half thinking, man, this was going to be a back-and-forth slobber knocker, and ended up
penalties.
Yeah, and a lot of penalties, both sides. It got chippy, and then, like we said, we don't want to just, we don't really just punt it, like just pummel the officials with criticism. But I think both ways, some of those interference calls were not very good. Some of them were a little too
Two of them.
I think you could even out a couple.
Yeah.
Back, especially later in the game. There was one that kept a drive alive for Leesville that led to a score. And obviously,
the overthrow.
Yeah, and then DeRidder obviously gets one back on the next drive, but by that time the game's out of reach.
Yeah.
And like we said, it was like that for both sides. It's just in one of these games, you played in it. Emotions get high. There were a couple of times where I thought there shouldn't have been flags on some of the, not even really extracurriculars, just maybe an immediate celebration and then the acknowledgement, and then boom, everybody's done. But they were ready to throw them early in that game. And I guess, given the stakes and the rivalry and stuff, you do that. But yeah, that's, like we said, that's not a reason that DeRidder didn't win this game. It was just a credit to Leesville adjusting and just saying, you know what, if you're taking that away, we can still, run the ball. And then that's what they did Friday night. I just I came away really impressed because, when you see a team that likes to throw the ball a lot, you hear the F word a lot. They're finesse. Like, you see teams like in the Pac-12 back in the day, they say, well, they can't line up and run it down your throat. Well, if you think Leesville, has that finesse characteristic, well, then they just showed you that they could turn around if they need to and run the football, and that's what they did on Friday night. And for the 5th year, the Hooper Trophy is going back to Leesville.
I just have a real quick question, Derrick. Did it make you want to put the pads back on it?
No, my knees hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, we talked about that. You get the juices flowing, in some of these games. Like I've called quarterfinals and then, in the semis, you could kind of just tell the atmosphere, and it's like, man, it takes me back. Like,
I feel like the game would have been probably different. The energy would have felt different if it was at home, at Leesville.
Yeah, and look, though, you hear guys say it all the time. Like, me personally, I think, like, winning, and doing things at home is awesome just because the crowd reacts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if y'all turned the TV on last night to Fox and saw the Blue Jays-Mariners game when George Springer hit that home run, I mean, the crowd pop, there's nothing better than a baseball crowd pop because there's that moment right before the pitch where it's just complete silence.
Yeah.
And then when whatever happens, the reaction after that, like Springer hits the home run last night after just a millisecond of silence, and it was just pure pandemonium for 5 minutes. And, I personally like that. I mean, I've been in the Superdome when the Saints went to the Super Bowl. I've been there when they had a chance to go and they got robbed by the officials. But, like,
or LSU baseball.
Which time?
Yeah.
Oh, every time. I've been there every time. I've been to every playoff loss that we've had in there in the last, ever, really, since I was there. Like I said, 2 NFC title games and a couple of heartbreakers. But, like, when something happens, like an interception, I mean, there was the interception in the first half of that Rams game.
So you were there for the no call?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. There's a Demario Davis pick in that first quarter. And it was so loud. And I remember it was loud because, like, you can usually sometimes talk to the person next to you and hear without yelling. And, like, I couldn't hear him yelling. And that was when a piece of the roof fell, like, in the tunnel. It was so loud. I like those things. Yeah. Now, some players will tell you, like you said, if it would have been at home, it would have been a better energy. Some players like going on the road and just shutting people up. Like, there's nothing better.
That's also fun.
There's nothing better than, especially, like, in basketball. When you hit a 3 to win a game or, like win a series and it's on the road.
Complete silence.
And it is complete silence. And you're the one that has made that a complete silence. Like, there's probably no better feeling individually. So like I said, rivalry regardless of home and away, man, like you obviously love winning in front of your home fans, but like there's nothing better than just going on the road and taking it and bringing it back. Like, there's not. And in any scenario, any sport. You
especially when they really needed that win.
Yeah, like you go get a much-needed win in a rivalry game when, it's a hostile environment. Like, obviously, Cecil Doyle Memorial Stadium and Wampus Cat Stadium, aren't, Death Valley or anything like that. But, like, you're going on the road, you got to get on the bus. You're not at your lockers, and you got to deal with all that, and to come out of there on the road and get a win is pretty sweet, too. I mean, so, look, it started, we said it last week, Leesville had to win out, I think, to really guarantee themselves a spot. And they did a really good job of setting that tone last Friday night. As for DeRidder, look, they got to get back at it quick. You go to LaGrange is 1-6. Just take care of business. You've got you got 3 games left: LaGrange, Washington Marion, Iowa. Yeah. You go 2-1 in those. You'll be 5-5. It's going to be a kind of a wait and see, because if you would have been 6-4, you probably are 100% hosting a home playoff game. Still possible.
And I asked you this Friday: what are the chances that they could beat? Just about a slim chance they beat Iowa and go and just win out.
I mean, it's going to be tough. Iowa's the top 5 team in the state.
Yeah, true.
They've won the district.
Is that at Iowa?
Yes, okay. And I think it's on a Thursday.
Oh.
I think their last game of the year is on a Thursday night. Yeah, so
Derek's like
short week on the road. But look, you got to win the first one.
Yeah.
You can't talk about 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's going to be tough, but you got Lagrange, and you can't overlook Lagrange because these games could get real hairy on the road again.
Any given Friday.
Exactly. And you go and you fumble a snap on the opening drive. You give them a short field. They go punch it in. Well, then guess what? You get them starting to believe, and then next thing you know, you're on the road. You're not in the confines of your home stadium where you can just kind of regather yourself. You got to worry about unfamiliar things. And it starts Friday night. Again, Derrick and Mr. Isles will be there on 95.7 KROK.
The station that believes in dragons.
That's it. And Mr. Isles is really going to need to believe now. He was trying the other night, and the belief just, like I said, it was
whatever magic he's got.
Yeah, it was disappointing because the same team that started that game, ended up weathering the first quarter, didn't come out of the locker room like that. And that's kind of frustrating because they were in the game, and regardless of Leesville's record, like, these games have always been really competitive.
They let it slip.
And, yeah, they had a really good opportunity after all that had happened early in the game. You kind of claw back and get into it, and it's scoreless, basically scoreless, and then a dead even, tie at half, basically 0-0 again.
4 years ago, what was it, 48-41?
Yeah, and then 2 years ago, it came down to the last play.
Yeah.
But you didn't give yourself that chance in the second half. So they will be, again, in Lagrange on Friday against the Gators. As for Leesville, they'll be at Washington Marion, and that game will be on KJAE 93.5. Washington Marion's 3-4, so there's been a game where you can't overlook them on the schedule either. So if Leesville wants to win out, again, got to go on the road, take this momentum you gained, run the football. Because, again, running the football and playing defense travels, home, road, whatever. Like, if you can run the ball, you can do it on the road, you can do it at home. And if Leesville runs the ball like they did the other night, they should be in pretty good shape. As for a couple of more games in the area, like we said, Pickering done with their home schedule. They will be on the road at Pine Prairie. 2 and 5 are the Red Devils.
Where is Pine Prairie?
I think it's up. I want to say it's up towards like Alexandria, going up that way.
Okay.
And I also did see a stat, and again, I saw one of our guys, Tony Marks. He's down towards like the Oakdale area, kind of right there. He wrote an article, and a parent got mad at him. I saw him post it, said he hates kids. Pine Prairie actually has not scored a point this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're 0-7.
Actually, Sean, you're wrong.
Did they score?
No, about Pine Prairie.
Oh, where is it?
Actually, it's going towards Opelousas.
Oh, we're going the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm saying
Pickering probably would prefer it be towards Alexandria.
Yeah, you'd be a little closer. My bad. I thought it was up that way.
Yeah.
So it's down that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look at me. It's a good thing I'm not driving the bus.
Yeah.
But, yeah, shout out to Tony. We always see him at state tournament, or anytime I go to, like, an Allen Parish game, he's there. He wrote an article, and parents were mad at him, saying he hates kids. Look, it is what it is. Like, they haven't scored.
That may bode well for the Red.
They have not scored a point all year. They're 0-7. Look, you don't want to ever be a part of that. There's nothing fun about that. But if you're Pickering,
you don't want to be that team.
Yeah, and look,
that'd be a good opportunity.
Pickering's been on that other side of that.
Yeah.
Like, they get it. And Pine Prairie is getting numbers up, just kind of really getting a football team, I guess, because they've kind of fairly new to this.
Maybe a good opportunity for the Red Devils to pick up another one.
It is, and this could shape up. But yeah, like you said, you don't want to be the team that gives it up to them.
Yeah.
But Pickering's also, if you flip it a couple years ago, man, they've been in this boat. They understand. But you know what? It takes numbers and
friendship.
Yeah, and love. A lot of love. You want to get out there, but it takes numbers and guys wanting to come out and compete.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up what Pickering did.
Mm-hmm.
And, they've got 2 wins looking for number 3. So they'll go to Pine Prairie. East Bo's at DeQuincy to start district. Maryville goes to Grand Lake. Oberlin at Hamilton Christian. That game's on Thursday, and they moved it, I want to say. I don't think it said Lafayette Christian Stadium. I'll check that when we go to commercial. St. Louis is at South Bow on Thursday night. And then our game of the week, I will be headed down to Vinton, Rose Pine, and Vinton hooking up. It's district opener. Only three district games with Pickering not playing the district schedule for all those teams. So they get started this week. Some teams started in week 1. Some teams start now. So all kinds of craziness. Again, you'll be able to hear that one right here on 105.7. I'll go on probably at 6:45 or so.
Probably solo.
It'll be me solo. Coach Grange unable to make it. He says he's got to work a junior high game. Got to take money at the gate.
Yeah.
So y'all better go to the junior high game and support the young athletes out there.
Yeah.
Because he'll be taking your tickets and he'll probably have the game on, I'm sure. And let's see, Kinder is at Menard. This game will probably decide the district. If Menard could somehow upset Kinder, they will have a share of the district. If Kinder wins, they will win the district outright. Again, 7-0 against 5-2. And a couple of weeks ago, Oakdale almost got Menard. They were up 14-0, ended up losing by 2. So Kinder stays laser focused. Coach Reed and the gang will be at 8-0 and have a district championship headed back to Allen Parish. But again, DeRidder Lagrange on Friday, 95.7. Our game is Thursday this week on KVVP 105.7. We will take a quick break, come back, and we will talk college football. It was a wacky week. LSU loses their second straight road game. We'll try to break it down and more. This is a Gridiron Gumbo show on today's Country 105.7.
We're playing on Thursday. Again this week, it's the high school football game of the week. The Rose Pine Eagles traveling to take on the Vinton Lions. Catch all the action with kickoff 7 o'clock with Sean Larken and Glenn Granger. The high school football game of the week is brought to you in part by Wagon Master, Double D's, and Cecil's, Popeyes, Sabine State Bank, Vernon Parish Sheriff's Department, the Catfish Hut, Rose Pine Pharmacy, Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, Shawson Gas, David Heyman State Farm, State Senator Mike Reese. It's Rose Pine, it's Vinton. Thursday night, the high school football game of the week on today's Country 105.7. Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, your place for fun.
Looking for some excitement? Come push our buttons and get paid.
Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, your place for fun.
Must be 21.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Gumbo Show here on today's Country 105.7, presented by Mid-South Forestry Equipment and Gina Choctaw Pines Casino. Sean Larken, Derrick Lee, Mike Holt. Derrick, did you know there was a baseball player? It's a pretty good one, too, named Derrick Lee.
Yeah, actually I
Didn't
did.
spell like yours, but that's always what I think of. Played for the Braves, the Cubs, the Marlins, I believe. Pretty good player back in the...
Well, and then, of course, there's another Derrick that works here. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
he's not Derrick Lee. But
No,
yeah.
but keep
and he's
it
on
track-
vacation, right?
Correct. Yeah, he took him on some vacation.
I wonder where he was at.
Derrick,
Yeah.
hopefully you're enjoying your vacation. Probably not listening to us, but that's okay. Oh, no, I just signed up to receive notifications from Shams on ESPN. I just
okay.
hit the button on accident.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know
You're trying
that.
to do too many things at once.
Yeah, I was trying to get the college football slate from last week dialed up, and a crazy week that it was. And it started on Friday night while we were getting ready to do the Hooper game.
And some of these games we missed.
We started looking at the scores, and Louisville was up at number 2 Miami. Miami, again, undefeated. We talked about it. Possibly could be the best team in the country. They've had some good wins. They have their 10-game home win streak snapped, and it was the first time they had lost at home since 2023 to those same Louisville Cardinals. But they weren't number 2 in the country then. Louisville comes in and they win 24-21. They hang on. Carson Beck looked like the old Carson Beck in that game. Saw the highlights when I got back. He threw 4 interceptions.
That's what I talked to you about.
Yeah, they.
He literally threw that game away.
Yeah, and they tried to give it back to him, but he threw him another one. Louisville threw the kitchen sink at him. They had a couple of guys line up under quarterback. They weren't quarterbacks. They ran some fakes, but they hang on and they get a win. And then later that night, Minnesota just dismantles Nebraska, who was then number 25. They beat them 24-6. So 2 upsets on Friday night, and that just kind of started the weekend that saw quite a few top 10 teams go down. And unfortunately, one of them was your LSU Tigers. At 11 a.m., they started a slate off, and they were going to Vandy. If you listened to the show last week, we told you this ain't your same Vandy. This was the first time since they've played however many games since 1978 where they were ranked, both teams, and this was the first time ever they were favored. And they were favored, and they covered. Spoiler alert, they covered. And there wasn't a moment in the game where I thought LSU was the better team on Saturday. Mike, you watched it. Derrick, I'm not sure if you watched it or not. That's okay if you didn't, because it would have just frustrated you.
Yeah.
Look, I expected this result. I said it on the show last week. It's been brewing. It happened to you at Ole Miss, and by the way, this is the second straight road game LSU's lost. And then we'll break it down in the grand scheme after. But they just at no point in the game did they ever look like the better team, and that's becoming a problem.
Yep.
And especially on the offensive end. And look, I'm going to start this out by saying that the defense was not very good the other day.
No,
they weren't. They were bad.
Could not stop Diego Pavi.
Weeks was out.
Yeah.
About 30 minutes before game, they ruled him out, but he'd been questionable, doubtful all week. You had a couple other guys out, but you gave up basically 400 total yards. You gave up 239 on the ground. Again, we talk about physicality and, establishing the line of scrimmage and being physical. And for years and years and years, LSU was the team that would just line it up and run it down your throat.
Yeah.
And, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but with the offensive situation, now there's none of that. And there could have been Saturday. But I saw some criticism like, wow, Brian Kelly's Les Miles 2.0. Well, I can promise you one thing. Les Miles is going to turn around and hand the football off.
Absolutely.
They may not put it in the air, but Les is going to run the football
off. Yeah.
Okay, so that ain't even a good comparison.
No.
Because those dudes used to beat the crap out of each other in practices. If you've never heard it or believe me, go listen to anything T-Bob Hebert's talked about those teams back when he played in 2011 and 2010 and even up until 19 after Les. But like those middle years of the 2007 after Les won it till basically 2012, 2013, 2014. Those teams were 3.5 hours full pads just killing each other during the week. And yeah, you might get injuries and stuff, but I'll tell you what you're also going to be is physical.
Yep.
That's just not there anymore with LSU. And look, I'm not even meaning that on the defensive side, because all season long and years before and 3 years before that, LSU's just not physical up front. Quarterback play's not great, but it's just one of the many problems with this team. Like the defense wasn't good at all. Again, you give up 31 points, 400 yards of offense, 240 of it on the ground, which is an average of 5 yards a carry. First of all, that's not good. Vanderbilt had the football for 36 minutes in the game, dominated time of possession. Everything you want to see, they dominated in. What's crazy is LSU didn't even turn the ball over. But if you watch the game,
it was 3 and outs.
It was 3 and outs, but also there weren't many possessions by either team. Like the first punt by anyone didn't come until the fourth quarter, and that was Vandy's punt. And then we had 4 straight. The drives before that were field goal, touchdown, 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 missed field goal, downs, field goal, touchdown, 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 field goal, punt. There was not a punt until the fourth quarter, so nobody was actually stopping anybody. But LSU's inability to just line it up and get a yard.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I'm going to ask both of you. Okay, so like in 2019, if I asked you, well, actually that won't work, because if I ask you what LSU does well on offense, you'd say everything, because they literally did everything well. Okay, let's just say, what do the Baltimore Ravens do well when Lamar Jackson and them are healthy?
Run the ball.
They run the ball. Okay. What do the Cincinnati Bengals do well when they're full strength?
Pass the ball.
They throw the ball well to the receivers, or they're good on third down. They're good in the red zone. Can anybody tell me what LSU's good at on offense? Like, what do they do well that you're like, man, that's pretty good?
That's a good question.
I get, because I've thought about it all week.
I can't really give you an answer.
No, because I've thought about it myself. I don't know. Like, they don't do anything well on offense.
No.
They don't run the ball. I mean, they actually did run the ball well on Saturday, but guess what they didn't do? Keep running it.
To what standard, though? To their standard?
They had 5 yards a carry Saturday.
Okay.
21 for 100. And so, like, when we actually do run the ball, we don't run the ball. Like, when it looks good, because it looked good Saturday.
Yeah.
Harlem Berry, 11 carries for 55 yards, 5 a carry. Caden Durham, 7 for 59, 8 yards a carry. Now, you add in, actually, the Nussmeier sack, 2 carries for 13 yards, so it'd be even better if you didn't add those in. But you had 2 running backs get you over 100. One averaged 8.5, the other averaged 5. I mean, what are we doing? Like, line up and run the ball. And there's no better, like basically summary of the season than what happened in the fourth quarter, like the goal to go on LSU's first drive in the fourth quarter. Caden Durham, 51-yard run to the Vanderbilt 2 for a first down. And by the way, that was when the score was LSU down 10, 31-21. So there's plenty of time left in this. You bust off the big run. So Caden Durham, 51 yards. Remember that. He just ran it for 51 yards.
To the 2.
To the 2. Okay? Then he had a first down run for a yard. So first and goal at the Vandy 2. We run it. Okay? That's fine.
Yeah.
Then they run like a motion play to the receiver where motion's in and then motion's back out. They complete the pass, but again, a false start. So that backs them up 5. Then Juwan Johnson, a loss for a yard, and then an incompletion on third down, and they kick the field goal. Guys, if I've got the ball in the 1,
give it back to him.
I'm running it 4 times.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm just running it 4 times.
Yeah.
I'm lining up under center and actually sneaking it 4 times.
If you stop...
If you stop me on that,
Then-
like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I watched the Houston Texans do the same thing last night. Like, get down inside the 1 and just completely forget how to play football.
And you see the Eagles do the tush push 4 times.
Yeah, and like, they get away with it because, like, their guards always just jump off sides. Like, if
It's
anybody
so
else,
blatant.
if anybody else runs that, they're just getting flagged. So maybe it's best we don't. But that's the perfect, like, summary of
Microcosm,
that's what I was looking for. The microcosm of the season. You get a yard to go, and look, on first down, you run for a yard on the 2. So that means you're on the 1. And then you run a motion. Like, every time you watch this offense, it's like they're trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. They're making it more difficult than it should be.
Another stat I saw, like, you threw the football, so Garrett Nussmeier threw the football 28 times, okay? Do you know how many passes were in between the hash marks, meaning over the middle of the field?
2.
3.
You're right, 2.
Oh, wow.
Guess what? One of them went for a touchdown,
Yeah.
the Trades Green one. But again, if you watch that play develop, it took to the last second.
For him to get it off?
Yeah, because like they ran a middle screen and Trades is a freak and just like got over the middle
Yeah.
and broke tackles and outran everybody. But again, even that took sideline motion and middle screen bailouts and then you watch everything in short yardage. We're throwing a 40-yard route to the sideline. Like throwing the ball, 40 yards, because the field's about 53 yards wide. We're having to make a 35-yard throw to the boundary on a short yardage play that you saw Vandy's corners just sitting on the other night.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of them that could have went the other way. Like, it's not just the quarterback play, but that's not very good. But they can't block anyone. The scheme is bad because, again, they throw it over the middle of the field. I would think personally, if you asked me the question I just asked you earlier, what does LSU do well? It's actually use the middle of the field. I didn't even realize Aaron Anderson was playing until they finally threw it to him in the second quarter. But guess what that dude's good at? Lining up in the slot and getting open because no one can put a hand on him. And we don't do that. Every time Juwan Johnson lines up outside, other than like being in the backfield, guess what happens, Mike? Can you guess?
He drops the ball.
They throw him a
Drops it.
screen pass. Every time he lines up out there when it's a stacked formation, they throw him the ball.
Yeah.
So now they're getting predictable. Like, something's got to change because now you've lost 2 games. And look, credit to Vanderbilt, they were the better team. Diego Pavia, some guys just make plays. And that dude made plays all day. There was one on the touchdown run he had late in the game. LSU sent a corner blitz, had him dead to rights. I don't know how he felt it, but he spun out. The guy didn't even touch him, and he scored.
Was the last time I believe they beat LSU 1990?
1990.
Okay.
And look, last year they came to Tiger Stadium, scored on their opening drive, which they scored on their opening drive Saturday, the first time a team had done that since Vandy last year. But that didn't matter because LSU ended up winning that game.
Yeah.
But look, LSU was outcoached. They were outplayed Saturday, and this is
100%.
happening. This is happening all too often. And we're not doing the fire thing yet here. We're not going to talk buyouts because it ain't happening.
No.
First of all, the buyout's too much. It's $56 million. You got to buy out the staff, and by the way, you got to pay players now too. So that ain't happening.
I think retirement would be the.
Yeah, but we're not even going to go there because there's 5 games left in the season.
Absolutely.
Could LSU miss the playoffs?
No, LSU has to win out to make the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
LSU could very well. I'll tell you what's a more likely scenario. LSU has 5 games left. There's a better chance of LSU going 2-3 in these 5 games than them winning out. Because Saturday they play A&M at home.
They losing.
Then they have a bye week. And then they go to Alabama. And then you have Arkansas, who we'll talk about a little bit later, Gave A&M everything they wanted Saturday. And then you go to Oklahoma after a Western Kentucky game.
Yeah.
There's a better chance of LSU going 2-3 the rest of the way and finishing with 5 losses than there is them winning out. And then that discussion gets really interesting.
Really dicey.
Because a couple of weeks ago, before we lost a game, Mike, we said there's room for error on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
There is in this conference because you are going to have a boatload of teams with 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
You just are because the conference is so good and everybody's playing everybody. When we talk about the week's games this week, there's too many of them that are good. But there is no margin for error anymore for this team. They just blew it on the road against Vandy, and they blew it at Ole Miss a couple weeks ago. If you play better on offense in either one of those games, you win.
Yeah.
And as bad as LSU's defense was the other day, they got you the ball back-to-back drives with a chance, and you couldn't do anything with it. And, look, I get it. They didn't play well on defense. But can a unit not have a bad game, like, once? Like, they're not going to give up 10. We said it. They're not going to give up 10 points a game every week. Like, sometimes your other side of the football's got to pick you up.
Yeah.
Like, you have to.
The defense can't just carry every
Defense has
game.
carried you all year.
Yeah.
I mean, they even said it, and this is just a disturbing stat that came up Saturday, that LSU was one of 2 Power 4 teams to not score more than 24 points in a conference game this year. Do you know who the other one was? Can you
No
take
clue.
a guess?
No.
Penn State.
Who is one of the biggest jokes right now in college football?
Penn State.
Other than them.
Florida State.
UNC.
Oh,
Bill Belichick's team and you are in the same sentence
wow.
because you can't score. That's not a stat you want.
No.
Okay? And if you saw the way they lost, they actually came to play the other night and fumbled the ball trying to win the game in the end zone. The dude fumbled it going onto the goal line. Yeah, they poked it out, and that's how they lost. But you and UNC are the only teams that just can't score against, your conference opponents or in the Power 4. It's got to change, man. Like, it's the same issue every week. And yeah, defense played bad today. Like, okay, well, that's one time.
Yeah.
Out of 7. Guess who's played bad every week except for Southeastern?
The offense.
The offense. And it's Southeastern. No disrespect. You got A&M next. They're coming in. Like I said, A&M got everything they wanted from Arkansas. Bobby Petrino in his second stint as interim, trying to get that
the
job again.
Yeah.
They won 45-42. They got it done. They might have been overlooking the Razorbacks, but they didn't. They won. And look, they're coming in here. They're the only unbeaten team left in the SEC, the Texas A&M Aggies. We live in a world right now in college football where Vanderbilt and Missouri are the college game day location this week. A&M's undefeated. Georgia Tech is undefeated. BYU is undefeated. This is what college football is right now. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that?
I didn't know
Georgia Tech-
BYU was undefeated.
yeah,
BYU
they beat
is
Utah.
crazy.
Yep, they are. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So you can't just expect it anymore with LSU.
No.
That's just where we're at, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. And look, like I said, this ain't the same Vandy
No.
that we saw. This is a Vandy team that is very well in the playoff picture, and that game against Missouri is going to be a lot of fun because Missouri's got one loss too, and it was against Bama 2 weeks ago. As for Bama, they win again.
rolling.
They win again. They've won 4 straight games against ranked opponents without a bye. You know how many teams have done that before Bama? 0.
0.
Bama's the only team to ever win 4 straight games versus ranked opponents without a bye week in between. They just did it. And honestly, Tennessee was in the game. But Bama makes the plays they needed to make, unlike LSU.
Yeah.
Except, shout out to Xavion Thomas because that touchdown that he made, unbelievable. That wasn't supposed to happen. He should have been tackled 6 times. A couple other games, like we said, A&M's coming to town. They beat Arkansas. Also, they give up 8.4 yards per carry in the Arkansas game. Guess what, Joe Sloan? Run the ball.
Yeah.
Run the football.
Please.
Run it. Harlan Berry played well. Run the ball. Georgia Tech beat Duke again. They're looking like they're the cream of the crop in the ACC. I know that's not saying much. The other top 10 team that went down, other than Ole Miss, which game of the year, by the way, so far is Georgia and Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Georgia didn't stop Ole Miss literally the entire game until the fourth quarter. They gave up 14 yards in the fourth quarter. I don't know how they did it. I don't know what's going on, but this is a couple of years now where Georgia's defense is just not very good. We saw Bama go up and down the field on them. Notre Dame did the same thing in the playoff or whatever game that was at the play. Yeah, it was the playoff game, the Sugar Bowl. But they win because you know why? They scored. If you watch Gunnar Stockton play, he was running, making plays, running when the pocket breaks down. And again, I know the offensive line for LSU is not very good. You had your left tackle go down as well in the game. But does every situation – we talked about this with Derrick Carr. when everybody's healthy, when you've got all your receivers and everything's as good of a situation it can be, Derek Carr's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But when one thing breaks down or goes awry and something has to happen, it's bad. But why does everything have to be perfect for the quarterback to be perfect?
Yeah.
Like, things are going to break down. You saw Diego Pavia take advantage of it. I saw Gunnar Stockton do the same against Ole Miss. And look, that happens. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Jaden Daniels did it. That O-line sucked with him too. Like, he was just a superhuman. Like, that's you've got to have some sort of extra, facet of the game that makes you dynamic. And LSU just doesn't have it. They don't have it anywhere.
No.
And that's unfortunate because you spent $18 million on a roster, and half of it has pretty much cost you a championship.
Yeah.
The other couple of games, Mizzou-Auburn, I don't know if y'all saw the Missouri-Auburn game. Auburn,
I did not.
I tell y'all this every week. Auburn is one of the best teams in the country. I've got one of our Braves group chats, Auburn grad. It was late after the game. I was like, dude, I know you don't want to hear this. I said, Auburn is one of the best teams in the country.
And they've been
except at quarterback.
Really close games.
They lost in double overtime to Missouri. They were winning the whole time.
No.
They were up 10-0, going up 17 on Georgia. They were winning at Oklahoma. They just can't close. They've lost every game. And it's probably going to cost Hugh Freeze his job.
That's what I was asking.
And his first thing was, it sucks. I hate watching this team. Hugh's got to go.
They sound like the Ravens.
It's. I mean, they've had opportunities, and again, they lose this game in double overtime to Missouri. And props to Missouri for just hanging in there.
Yeah.
Arizona State, again, there were 3 top 10 teams that went down: Ole Miss, LSU, and Texas Tech went down at Arizona State. That game was 19-6 with, I think, 4 minutes left. Final score was 26-22.
Wow.
They got after it. Yeah. I had the under, and it lost, unfortunately, because of whatever they were doing in the fourth quarter. But, so Texas Tech looks really good. They spent a lot in the portal. They're not as, the Big 12's wide open.
Yeah.
So, again, these games all matter. BYU, again, beats Utah. They're 7-0. Let's see, what else do we have here? Again, Bama, like we said, Tennessee, I saw somebody, like one of the players said, like, they didn't beat us as much as we lost it. And he's right. I mean, you saw the pick 6 for 99 yards right before the half. They had like 3 or 4 turnovers, and they were right in the game. But Bama makes the plays, and you don't. And unfortunately, that's how it's been going for like 20 years, and Nick Saban's not even there anymore. So, another game I've got on here, Florida, coaching vacancies open. They win, but they shouldn't have. Mississippi State threw an interception in field goal range.
Yeah.
Billy Napier comes out of there winning. They boo him on the way out, and then they announce that he's fired. So that job is open now. That is the 4th straight Florida head coach to not make it to the 4-year mark. Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen, and Napier. They shouldn't have fired Dan Mullen. His record was very good at Florida.
It was.
So they won?
They won the game against Mississippi State, but there was rumors that they were going to buy him out on Sunday, and they won.
And they did.
And then they did, fire him. So, I mean...
I would hate to win a game and then come home the next day and then know that they're cleaning out your office.
No, you're right. It does suck because you're like, man, I didn't lose. But...
Billy Gonzalez, I believe, is the interim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he was on the LSU staff.
He was, I think, the passing game coordinator for LSU or the receivers coach, one of the two.
Yeah.
That is a very familiar name. Good catch, Mike. And then one more game I did put down because this was going on during the Bama game, the Missouri game. Texas, guys. Did y'all see Texas go to Kentucky?
No.
Well, they won it in overtime 16-13. But that game, I think...
Why do they have to go to overtime against Kentucky?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And get ready when we do our picks this week because... They ain't winning.
I'm not picking
They
Texas.
ain't winning. They're really bad.
You can just put me down right now.
And what makes it even worse is OU goes to South Carolina and just dismantles them Saturday too, right out on schedule like we thought. But Texas ain't very good, guys. So we'll take a quick break, come back, talk the NFL, do our picks, all that good stuff. It's the Gridiron Gumbo Show on today's Country 105.7.
Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, your place for fun.
Looking for some excitement? Come push our buttons and get paid.
Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, your place for fun.
Must be 21.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Gumbo Show. Equipment, Gina, Choctaw Pines Casino, Sean, Larken, Derrick Lee, Mike Holt, Derrick coming back from the break, talking about arguably, actually, no, there's no argument.
The
well,
greatest
maybe the game of the year. I'd say you could give Bills Ravens in there too, but I don't know, man.
Seahawks and
Seahawks Bucks was good. There have been some games of the year, but this is up there, and we're gonna get to it. That was that Giants Broncos game. I had it on. I had the Red Zone channel on, and just had it on, and there was a moment where
I didn't get up.
There was a moment where I was like,
"There's no
Broncos
way.
are gonna win this."
There's no way.
Then, but I didn't know how because there was not that much time left, and the Giants had the ball. But first, we'll talk Saints. They lose again, 1-6.
This game was bad.
Wait a minute. Apparently, there's Russell Wilson calling Sean Payton classes.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you earlier. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Russ is just mad because he wasn't good enough to be on.
And now he's on a.
And now he's not starting.
No.
Sean Payton knew what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean Payton was in the playoffs with a rookie quarterback last year, and
we're
on
like
his
Bo
way.
Nix. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Crazy week in the NFL though, and it started on Thursday night. We talked about it, the Geriatric Bowl. They called it the Icy Hot Bowl on the broadcast.
And then Aaron Rodgers said, "I don't use Icy Hot."
No, and Flacco and Rodgers, man, you want to talk about old school gunslinger,
yeah.
man? That was awesome.
It was great.
Like
Green Bay, Baltimore back in the day.
That's what it looked like, but it was Steelers Bengals, and you couldn't have told Joe Burrow from Joe Flacco the difference, man. Because let me tell you again, if apparently Jake Browning isn't, I'm not going to call him dumb, but he's not as smart as Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's been there, a week and a half? Okay? All you do, you go down the roster, and you go, wait a minute, this guy's pretty good. Jamar Chase.
Bingo.
I'm throwing him the ball every play. And he pretty much did.
I'm pretty sure that's what Zach Taylor was like. You see him?
Just throw it to him.
That guy's good. He's like, oh, yeah, I've seen him play.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. 47 attempts for Joe Flacco. Guess how many went to Jamar Chase? 23. And he caught 16 of them for 161 and a touchdown.
Wasn't that that's the record, huh?
That's the franchise record for targets and catches, I think. And it's probably he broke his own. I mean, T. Higgins had 96, 6 for 96. Yosivas had 49, which couldn't get me 12 the other day when I bet on him because he dropped 6 passes. They threw it to him. Flacco, way to go back to him. Way to trust your guy. But look, if I'm coming in and I've got that guy, I'm throwing him the ball. I'm getting the ball to my playmakers. It's not hard.
I knew the game was over when I seen Joe Flacco scare him for a 12-yard
on the 12-yard run when he kept it on the read. Unbelievable.
I was like, oh.
I was laughing. I laughed out loud. I was like, this is unreal. But yeah, it started Thursday night, and the Bengals get a win. It was basically Pittsburgh and everyone else in that division because the Browns are terrible. The Ravens are just dead. Everybody on their team's dead.
It's over for them.
But like you're thinking, man, the Steelers could clinch this by like November.
Yeah.
And
Bengals might be able
to draw a little bit closer with Joe Flacco. Man, if he gets them to the playoffs, holy cow.
Yeah,
that dude rules. He's not even great, but he's good enough. Go look at his all-time numbers. They're not good.
It took him 15 years to get to number 1, and this is what he do.
But, he wins when it matters. That's what's crazy. But back to the Saints. They go to Chicago. It was, Mike, did you watch it Sunday?
Yes, unfortunately.
How bad was the first about, was he 30 minutes and a half? How bad was the first 28 minutes of the first half?
Bad.
It was the worst football I've ever seen.
Bad.
At one point, going into the final drive of the first half, the Saints had 4 total yards of offense. 4.
We'll be better than the Jets.
No, that's true.
I don't know. Are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, way better than the
Okay.
Jets. Spencer Rattler's worst game as a pro, by far. It's not close. He hadn't turned the football. That's the one thing we've talked about, Mike.
I think his worst game was last year.
No. This one was
and
bad.
then he
had
did
4
exactly what we had praised him for.
Yeah, we said don't turn the ball over. You're playing winning football. Well, for the first time in all season, it felt like the Saints get a 3-and-out on the opening drive. They've been giving up touchdowns on back-to-back drives for 3 straight weeks. They get you a 3-and-out, then we immediately turn the ball over. Rattler's got to protect it there in the pile. He throws some interceptions. This was a Bears team that came in giving up 150 yards a game on the ground. Saints run the ball in the first play for 8 yards, and I'm pumped. And then we just didn't run the football that much. And the game was in reach. They had,
grouping.
Yeah, they had 17 rushing attempts. That's not good for 2.6. Meanwhile, the Bears ran for 200, 222. The Saints defense doesn't do a whole lot of things well.
No.
They don't get pressured. They almost get sacks. Chase Young was great.
Yeah.
He played great, but again, he's the king of almost getting sacks. Led the league in pressures last year. Almost had a pick 6. Quincy Riley does get a pick 6. He seems to be like a good-looking rookie out of the 3rd, 4th round you got. But, man, it's just there's not a whole lot of good, and when you're turning the ball over, you're not going to win. The Bears aren't great. They're not a good football team, but they've won 4 in a row. But, man, you get a couple of scores back late right there at the half, and you make it a game for a minute, and then you turn it over. It was Spencer Rattler's worst game by far of the season. It's not close.
A couple of guys go down with injuries.
And now Kendra Miller, who we thought had a potential for a revenge game against Dennis Allen because he was in the doghouse forever. He gets 1 carry for 7 yards and then tears his ACL, so he's done for the year. Eric McCoy, starting center, who missed time last year. And when he went down last year, it was just terrible football. He went down after the opening drive of the Eagles game, and you weren't the same the rest of the year until he came back. He's done for the year.
And Kendra Miller's been running well.
Yeah, and when he's there. But you can't count on him anymore.
Yeah.
He's not been able to be counted on because of injuries, and that's unfortunate because sometimes that's just unlucky.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
But that's the nature of the game. Devin Neal, who they drafted out of Kansas, who I really liked, saw him in college a lot. He's going to get some shots because Alvin's, again, getting up there in age.
Yeah.
But, man, it's just you look at the schedule, you don't really have a whole lot of opportunities to get wins.
They hadn't quite figured out with Taysom. It just didn't seem to be working there.
But, yeah, you just – at some point, they're going to go to Tyler Shuck. They are.
They got to see what they have.
You've got Tampa at home this week.
Where'd you get to lose?
I think they just want to not put him in a bad situation, but like any situation is going to be bad.
They did it last year with Spencer Rattler.
Well, that's the thing. My thing with him is he's 26. Like the dude played in college for like 15 years.
Forgot.
Like he's seen it all.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Yeah,
because this ain't a league where you can wait around as you see. But look, it's going to be sooner than later for him because, like I said, before this week, there is no reason that Spencer Rattler should give the job up. No. But he wasn't very good the other day. No. And you might could credit Dennis Allen's defense for a little bit of it, but some of the throws were just not very good decisions. No. Chris Olave had a decent game, but there wasn't a whole lot less, else around it that was good. Broncos-Giants game of the year. Like we said, the Giants were rolling. The Broncos were getting booed. They were getting shut out in the game. In the fourth quarter, they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's the most ever by a team that was getting shut out prior to the fourth.
The only game I can think of that was worst of a loss was the Colts versus Viking game a couple years ago.
Well, the Chiefs in the playoffs too. Remember that one? Andrew Luck come back. That was a good one. But in the fourth quarter, with 14 minutes and 8 seconds left. Actually, no. Let's just go even further.
It was like 19-0.
It was 19-0 going to the fourth. With 10 minutes and 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Giants were up 26-8. And then it was just touchdown, interception. Then the Giants score on a very bad pass interference that Sean Payton just hauled butt to the middle of the field to yell at the ref. Yeah. So that's been built up for 6 years. Absolutely. I'm just letting y'all know. And then, but in typical Giants fashion, bad teams do bad things. They miss the extra point and allow the Broncos to go and win the game. Eagles get a good win. Hurts 326. Hey, by the way, I've got good receivers. A.J. Brown. He was a little vocal. He's been subtweeting and getting on IG and making quotes. He had 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, and Devontae Smith, same thing. Throw the ball to him. You got good guys out there. We don't have to push every play. Speaking of, did you see the Vikings? We've got a new way to stop it, Mike. Just lay down. Okay. They got a lineman. They just lay him down flat on his belly, long ways.
I seen a meme say, "Imagine you watch film and that's your excitement for the week."
Or you're like, "What's that guy doing?" You wake up from a coma and you're like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Just wait." Colts, man, they go to Los Angeles and win again. We're like
5-1.
What are they?
They're the best team in the AFC. I don't know how, but they are.
With Daniel Jones.
I can't. Well, can't say that's the only team I can say that's actually shown that. They're
consistently they've done well. Daniel Jones is
the
in
Chiefs
their
win.
MVP situation. Like he's there. Our picks, guys, it wasn't great for y'all. Y'all went 8-10. I went 10-8. But look, it happens. It's a week-to-week deal. I was 6-3 in NCAA, 4-5 in NFL, 3-6. Mike, 5-4 in the NFL. Derrick, you were 4-5 in both. Favorites were 6-3 in both. The Bengals, Colts, Cowboys all won outright, so the underdogs actually all won. Pretty good slate this week. I have this game in college. Indiana is a 25.5-point favorite against UCLA. The reason I have that is because since beating Penn State and changing coaches, UCLA ain't lost, guys. I think they're going to lose this game, but I don't think they're going to lose by 26. I'm taking the Bruins.
I'm taking Indiana.
I got UCLA.
Yeah, Indiana didn't cover against Michigan State this past week either. Ole Miss, coming off a loss, guess what? We lost. We go to Athens, lose. Guess where we got to go next? Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 4.5-point favorite. I will take OU.
I'm taking OU.
OU.
Yeah, I am impressed. The one time Lane, because Ole Miss does this, they'll lose a game. Like Lane Kiffin will lose a game just because he goes for it every time.
Yeah.
He actually didn't get in his own way this time. It was just they lost. They lost to a team that played better. Alabama goes to South Carolina. 11.5-point underdogs are the Gamecocks. They have been burning me every week.
I'm going with the Crimson Tide.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
I can't take South Carolina anymore. I've been doing it to myself. Funnest game of the weekend, probably Vandy at home, 2.5-point favorite against Missouri.
Ooh. I like Vandy.
Missouri.
Man, this is going to be a fun game. One of these teams is going to be on the outside looking in. I want to take Vandy just because they're going to be fired up. But can they keep that momentum that they had last week? It's going to be interesting to see. I'll take Vandy. Iowa State is a 3.5-point favorite against undefeated BYU. BYU, after beating Utah, their arch rivals, got to go on the road to Iowa State. Does Iowa State win the game by 4?
No.
I like BYU as well. Texas, again, y'all know the team I've been on all year, Mississippi State. They are a 6.5-point underdog. Mississippi State is winning this game outright.
I'm going Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
That means Texas by 20. Auburn, Arkansas. Arkansas with Bobby Petrino. Auburn can't win a game.
I like the Razorbacks.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do think Auburn's this time will probably actually be winning and then lose by 2. So we'll probably all lose, but I do like the Razorbacks. A&M comes to Death Valley Saturday night at 6:30 on ABC. LSU is a 2.5-point underdog. It has not moved. I think the Tigers win this game.
I'm taking the
lose at
Tigers.
A&M.
I like it. Good. Vikings and Chargers start Thursday night football. The Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite against the Vikings. I got burned on the Vikings a couple of times already. I'm going to take the Chargers, even though they don't look very good either.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers are banged up front. This one's an interesting line. The Ravens, I'm not sure if Lamar Jackson's back.
He's back this week.
Okay, that's why. 6.5-point favorites against the Bears. Bears, I don't think they're...
I don't trust the Ravens defense. I'm taking the Bears.
I'm taking the Ravens.
I like that reasoning right there because they do give up a ton of points. I think the Bears lose a close one.
Because they're on schedule to let up the most points in history.
Yes, and that would be the Saints team that they, I think, would pass.
The crazy part is,
2012.
I would think the old 16 Lions would.
Yeah, they were just bad all around. We did this game a couple weeks ago. This time it's back at the Link. Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite against the Giants. Giants had an epic collapse, but I still think they cover. I think they lose this one.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Cowboys at the Broncos. Cowboys win a big one. Jaden gets hurt. Get well soon, Jaden. The Broncos are a 3.5-point favorite against Dallas.
I'm taking the Broncos.
Broncos. They show resiliency.
They really do. They just continue to win. I want to take Dallas so bad in that game. Your Panthers, 7.5-point underdog with Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, taking on the Bills after a bye. I'm going to take Carolina to just cover.
I'm going to take Carolina.
They've got a fun team, and they got some fun skill guys. Ted McMillan finally got the end zone a couple weeks ago.
I'm coming here next week with my hoodie on.
There we go. Sounds good to me. You deserve it, because then that would make them, I think, 5-3.
5-3.
Yeah, I ain't been that in a long time. The revenge. Aaron Rodgers at home, not going to Lambeau Sunday night. Man, this is going to be an awesome game.
Oh, man.
Green Bay is a 3.5-point favorite. I'm taking the Steelers to win the game.
I'm taking the Steelers.
I got Steelers.
Packers have not looked good the last few weeks.
Ever since the Brown lost.
Yeah, they barely got it done against Arizona. And then the Saints have the Bucs at home. The Bucs are banged up at receiver. I still don't think it matters.
Mike Evans got a clavicle.
Mike Evans broke his collarbone. Egbuka's not healthy. That's collarbone. Ain't that the collarbone? Clavicle? Ain't that clavicle?
I'm not a doctor.
I think it is.
I'm not sure.
I mean, he had double whammy, concussion, and all that stuff. Saints are a 5.5-point favorite. I can't do it anymore. I'm taking the Bucs to cover. They're going to beat us by 7.
I'm going to take the Bucs.
Yeah.
Yep, we are all there. But again, should be a fun week in college. We're gonna the picture either LSU's in or out.
They're out.
Still, they lose this game, their season's over. They win, they're still alive until next week. Week 8 in high school football. We start Thursday night right here on Today's Country 105.7. Rose Pine at Vinton. St. Louis is at Southville on Thursday night, and Oberlin at Hamilton Christian. Friday night, Maryville at Grand Lake, Eastbow at DeQuincy, Pickering at Pine Prairie. Don't go north, go south. Kinder's at Menard.
And if you're in the wrong place, blame Derrick.
Yeah, blame me, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Kinder is at Menard. Kinder can win the district. Leesville heads to Washington Marion, trying to win their second straight. And DeRidder is headed to LaGrange. You can hear that one with Derrick and Mr. Isles on 95.7. For Derrick Lee, Mike Holt, I'm Sean Larken. Thank you for listening. This has been the Gridiron Gumbo Show on Today's Country 105.7.
KVVP Leesville, DeRidder, Fort Polk, Today's Country 105.7.